So that is being worked on too on a statewide level. And we're not sure that we'll be able to get it on the ballot. We have to get a lot of petitions signed for that one all over the state in a short amount of time. So yeah, so our particular one is just a Jackson County petition ordinance initiative to ban growing GMO plants. And there was some discussion about broadening it to include animals and other things. However, we were advised that it's going to be a fight just to get this narrow one, and that would be a huge step forward, and it would make more sense to fight for something that's achievable and make a good step forward, and then maybe we can work on the other piece.
Where is that? Is that available to sign, or is it being...
Oh, good question. So it took actually a lot of work to create this ordinance, a lot more than we thought when we first started on it. And we just got it submitted to the county a couple weeks ago, and we're real close to having it approved. So far, all the information we've got back from them is it's on track and things are being approved. It's just hopefully this week. Yeah.
Is it the commissioners, county commissioners that have to approve it?
No, it's the elections. Or no, well, actually, can you help me out with this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Any citizen in the state of Oregon can submit a petition for circulation to get it on the ballot. And we're going through that process. You have to have, actually you have to have 2 or more petitioners, and you write the petition, you submit it to the county clerk, then it goes through a process. The county attorney must certify that it is constitutional and that it is not more than one subject. Then the district attorney provides a title, a caption, a question, and a summary to go with that. And that's the state that we're at. It has been published in the paper and has received 2 complaints about it, or 2 requests for some changes to be made to it. And so those should be ironed out with a judge of the circuit court on Tuesday.
Hopefully tomorrow, yeah. So this is Pam Barbara. She's on our team. She also was a spearhead in the library initiative.
That wasn't an initiative.
It was.
But I want to, if I can elaborate just a little bit more. We are also.
Stand up.
Oh,
Some of us are.
I am standing. No. The library didn't have to go through the initiative process because we were able to get the city council to place that on the ballot. Same with the county-wide one. For this one, though, we are also asking the county commissioners to place it on the ballot for us. But there's 2 chances that will happen, slim and none. They're not going to do it. They're listening more to the Farm Bureau. Although we're making some inroads there too.
Yeah.
So we're continuing to push for that. And any letters that you folks are inclined to write to the county commissioners to ask them to help us, forego all of the signature gathering and vote process could really circumvent that and make it go faster. However, we're not convinced that their law would necessarily be the same law that we would like to see. So there's some advantage to going through the initiative process because we know what it is. And by the way, Eli has been really responsible for the majority task of writing this, and he's done an excellent job. We also have obtained the advice of not 1, not 2, but 3 attorneys on this. So we've had a lot of really authoritative and expert eyes guiding us in this process.
Yeah, so anyway, we've got good people working on getting this petition going. And, oh, that was another thing. We're a small group, and of course we'll need help with petitioning. We can use help with donations, and there's cards around. All the donations, of course, have to be, having the information that's on the card, like name and address and occupation and stuff like that for it to be legal. And if there's people who have organizational skills who want to join us, you're welcome to come to our regular Monday meeting at 9 o'clock at the Ashland Library. You because we can still use organizational help.
9 a.m.?
Yeah, 9 a.m. Monday morning, Ashland Library.
We are meeting Memorial Day.
Yeah, we're meeting Memorial Day. Okay, so I have, like I said, I have a list of studies I could read off. I have the list of countries that have banned it I could read off. Is there any questions? Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to add one piece that I think is really important. While we do focus a lot on organic, because that's where we can show prove financial impact, it is important to understand that this does impact conventional farmers also, because their crops become contaminated. And if in fact you do get a labeling initiative passed, and whether we do or not, there is, I think, a growing trend towards people not wanting GMOs. So it is in the best interest, potentially, of our farmers to not be forced to go the route of having genetically modified food. So it's not just the organic industry, but it's also conventional farmers who don't want to go, however they feel philosophically or scientifically about GMOs, they have to buy their seeds every year. Or even if they save their seeds, they have to pay Monsanto or Syngenta, whoever they're getting their seeds from, in order to be able to plant. So there's also other reasons why farmers may not want to go the GMO route.
And this is Ann. She's the head of our education committee. Good. Yeah?
I had heard of the case, and I want you to tell me if this is true, that because of the drift from a genetically modified field into another field, that other farmer's crops then got cross-pollinated. Mm-hmm. Then Monsanto sued that farmer and said that he was using their patented seed.
Right.
Is that true? And if so, is that a powerful argument for conventional farmers to get on board this initiative?
Yeah. That story, as from what I can tell, is mostly true. It happened in Canada, and the Supreme Court ruled that the damages to the farmer were not as important as the Monsanto patent. Okay, so the patent rules won in that case. However, I have not been able to find a similar ruling in the United States. And what Monsanto says is their lawsuits, when they go after farmers, is for farmers who bought their seed and then, instead of buying the next year, just saved and replanted. That's what Monsanto says. However, most of those court cases are one either settled out of court, or even the ones that are settled in court, there's so many gag orders on them that it's been very difficult to find out what's actually going on there. So we really don't know how much of what is going on at this point. Yeah?
Just a question. So when this Chris Harden found he wanted to do chard, and the man next to him was doing sugar beets,
Yeah.
did they go ahead with the sugar beets?
Well, at first they said, knowing the sort of politics of Ashland, when Chris put up a stink about it, they said, okay, well, we won't do GMOs right in this plot, but we've got them checkerboarded all the way up and down the Rogue Valley. And then they turned around, we just found out a few days ago, and told Chris, oh, by the way, we went ahead and planted that field not with GMO, but with conventional sugar beets for seed, which still is going to cross-pollinate with his organic and still screw up his thing. So they're kind of playing hardball in a sneaky way. Yeah.
How long have the GMOs been in the valley, do you know?
What is it, like 2 years?
At least 2 years. We know for sure for 2 years.
Yeah.
I ask because I come from Hawaii, where, especially on, well, particularly the papayas on the Big Island, and now throughout the whole island chain, you can't buy an organic papaya anymore.
Wow.
And they're growing seed crops on Maui, and it's just, I mean, it's so insidious, but it's been about 10 years now, and well, longer on the Big Island, and it's just, you can't even fight it anymore because it's so insidious. The only way they won anything was when the They started doing GMO on the taro, and the native Hawaiian populations raised such a hue and cry about this isn't just a plant, this is our sacred plant.
The what?
And taro.
What is that?
It's a tuber, and they make poi out of it and other things.
And they
but
started
it's like,
doing GMO on
They
it?
started GMOing the taro, and the Hawaiian population rose up and revolted, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court, who said no, cannot do taro
Huh.
because it's all the reasons. And so that's the one crop that's been outlawed for Monsanto. But meanwhile, they're doing corn. They do all their seed corn and everything on Maui. And it's just so insidious now. I know the Occupy group has been very involved this year, and a lot of other groups, but it's like they're just fighting this losing battle because they've been there long enough. So I think it's really critical we fight this hard right now.
Yeah, we're in a better position than that.